For the bottom row of instructional resource number 7, the first question says round each number to the nearest 100,000, and it gives you these two numbers. So if we look at 1,985,456 first, it says to round. So in my mind, I'm saying round where? To the nearest 100,000. So I'm going to use my place value. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. Remember, you underline where you're rounding to. The boss is always right. So the boss is to the right. Remember our little rhyme to help us remember those. 0 to 4, stay on the floor. That would mean 9 would stay at 9. 5 to 9, climb the vine. That means 9 would go up to the next number, which is 10. So 8 is a go boss. That means 9 needs to go to 10. Because we can only have one digit in that 100,000s place, though, that means that the 0 and 10 will go here, and the 1 will go over, regrouping, just like when we do addition and multiplication. And then everything after becomes zeros. So rounded to the nearest 100,000s, this number would round to 2 million because of its place value. Here, 5 is in our 100,000s place. The boss is always right. 2 is its boss. 0 to 4, stay on the floor. So that 2 is a stay boss. Tells the 5 to stay at 5. Everything before it stays. Remember, you got to copy all that down or you're just giving me the value of that 5. We want to round it. So this rounds to 7,500,000. Okay, the next question is a graph question. I hope you guys can see that well. But it's a graph that tells me the pieces of mail up the side. The bottom label is cut off, so I'm going to read my question to see what it wants me to figure out. It says the graph above shows the average pieces of mail a person received during different years. So it's not telling me the years, is it? And that's the question if I had read ahead. What information is missing from the x-axis? That's this line here that goes across. So we're missing the increments of the years that mail was received. Then the second question says, what would be an appropriate title for this graph? So just like a book, a title is, what is this graph about? Well, it's about mail that people have received. So we could call it mail received, people's mail, a person's mail, mail received over the years. Lots of different titles that have to do with the mail being received. Okay, so the last problem on this instructional resource asks me to subtract 256,900 minus 5,032. So it's asking me for an exact answer. So when I subtract this one, I did put it on my lined paper, and I will share something with you. Today I was helping Caden, and Caden's work today was adding and subtracting whole numbers and estimating whole numbers, and he had a question kind of like this. And he had not turned his paper sideways, but he had lined his 5 up way over here. So instead of that 5 being worth 5,000, it was worth 500,000. Of course, it wasn't the same problem, but I'm just using that as an example. I showed him this method because it does line up your place values if you have your commas lined up. So this is a good way to keep your numbers and digits in the correct place values when you're subtracting. Because I can't borrow from 1,000 to give me a 10,000. So we want to make sure we're subtracting the correct place values. Okay, so we start all the way to the right with our ones place. 0 minus 2. More on the top, no need to stop. More on the floor, go next door, get 10 more. So we've got more on the floor, but our neighbor doesn't have any, so we're going to go over one more. 9 is going to become 8 because I'm borrowing one of those, regrouping. That's 10 hundreds, 100 is going to make 10 tens. That's why it's called regrouping. So we give 10 more here. 10 more than 0 is 10. We want to borrow from that 10, make it 9, And 110 equals 10 ones. So that's why it's called regrouping, or we're borrowing. 10 minus 2 is 8. A teeny tiny 8. 9 minus 3 is 6. 8 minus 0 is 8. 6 minus 5 is 1. 5 minus nothing. And remember here, we can add in 0 placeholders. It does not change the value of that 5,032. So 5 minus 0 is 5, and 2 minus 0 is 2. 1, 2, 3, comma me. Make sure you get your commas in there. 251,868. If I want to check, I can use the inverse operation of addition. 8, 9, 10. 6, 7, 8, 9. 8. 1 plus 5 is 6. 5 plus 0 is 5. And 2 plus 0 is 2. So I know my subtraction is correct. Thank you, guys.